This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Today is Mark Sale, the CEO of First Class Metals, following the announcement of a high-grade nickel sulfide discovery at Pickle Lake, North Hemlo. Now, Mark, you are joining us from Thunder Bay, aren't you?
That's correct, Mark. Yes, I got here eventually, and I'm heading towards the project area tomorrow.
Indeed. Well, good timing. I'm hoping we can catch up maybe once you've been on site, and maybe you can share some photographs, or even if we can do something on site if the cell net is in our favour. But let's just talk about this news. Some of the comments there that it gives credence that a new district scale sulfide nickel play is opening up. The discovery at the West Pickle zone is currently believed to be an extension of the Palladium 1 zone, and the visual results and early stage examination of the drill core from the first two holes have exceeded our expectations. So give us your reaction to this then, Mark, your thoughts initially.
Yeah, and yes, forgive my smile, because it's obviously incredibly good news for First Class. Here we are 6 weeks into our listing, and we put out such a positive press release, albeit on the back of Palladium 1's more detailed press release. But I think I do echo Palladium 1's feelings that this could be a new nickel camp, as they call them, in this area of Canada opening up. When we just look at the bare facts, and that is in the eastern end of the Tycho project, you have Smoke Lake, and then you have going west, you have Bulldozer, then you have the RJ zone, and then you come on to First Class Metals property, the Pesin 2 joint venture area, and we've got West Pickle Lake. So 20 kilometres, and along that 20 kilometres, the known discoveries so far are, I'm going to say, world class. I mean, Smoke Lake, almost double figures in the nickel percentage content. We don't have the assays yet from the West Pickle Lake core, but certainly visually, I can understand the enthusiasm that the market has reflected and that Palladium 1 is showing for this area. And by area, I mean not just the West Pickle Lake zone, but the whole 20-kilometre strike length across the Tycho project to North Hemlo. And of course, we haven't done any work of significance looking for nickel further west from West Pickle Lake.
Indeed. And I want to pick up on something again that was in the RNS here. You say massive to semi-massive pentlandite, pyridite and chalcopyrite. I'm not sure if I said those words correctly. It's the first time I've ever read them in RNS. Maybe you can correct me. But can you explain exactly what that means?
Okay, so what was shown in the photographs, the drill core photographs, was semi to massive sulfide. Massive, as you can appreciate, means it's solid. In fact, I had a discussion with a rather erudite geologist not too long ago who corrected me and said it's not massive, it's solid. Well, I cut my teeth in Western Australia, and they've got not insignificant nickel discoveries there, and we called it massive. So massive to semi-massive is almost solid and not quite solid, shall we say. Mm-hmm. Pyrrhotite, pentlandite are nickel sulfide minerals, and chalcopyrite is a copper sulfide mineral. So what we're seeing is a combination of both copper ore, probably shouldn't use that, potential copper ore and potential nickel ore. And what Palladium 1 did is, in their press release, when they estimated percentages, they've done that by calculating the visual volume of the minerals that they're seeing, then the percentage nickel or copper that those elements contain.
Okay, that makes sense. You also mentioned in the RNS that the West Pickle zone discovery closely resembles Palladium 1's very high-grade Smoke Lake zone, located 20 kilometres to the east. And I know in the overviews you've always referring to nearology and the fact that you've got this huge Palladium 1 project here. You can tell that at this stage, even from what you're seeing at the moment, that it's giving you confidence to say that this is perhaps part of what Palladium 1 have, that deposit.
No, I'm saying that because somebody in Palladium 1, whose opinion I respect, told me.
Okay. Well, that's credibility enough, I would say.
I mean, the only smoke lake core I've seen is what they put out in their press releases, and yes, that does look similar in as much as it's semi to massive sulfides of both nickel and copper ore. So they are peas in a pod, which is what you would expect if they are all part of the same large mineralized system.
Okay. Well, this is, of course, very early stage, isn't it? This is one of the first exploration programs that First Class Metals have done on this property, and you're not long listed. So you think it's fair to say you're off to a very good start here, but without getting too excited, what are the next kind of steps? Or what are the team thinking, first of all, about this initial discovery, and what are then the next steps?
Well, obviously, as it's an earning joint venture, and Palladium 1 have the management of that joint venture and the expenditure, it's their party. The ball's with them to play with. But progress from here, they're going to do a downhole EM survey next, which will enable them to tie down the conductors that obviously these sulfide minerals. And it's a far cheaper way of exploring subsurface than drilling. So downhole EM survey, then after that, depending on the results of the EM survey, do some more targeted drilling to try and grow the initial very encouraging results that we have. But let's not forget, these were just the first 2 holes of what has been a multi-hole program. I can't remember whether Palladium 1 disclosed how many holes they've drilled in their press release, so I won't mention a number. But yes, it's the first 2 very encouraging holes of a multi-hole program. No assays have been received as yet. I understand the cores with the lab, but they haven't been processed yet. So there's more good news to come. We look forward, First Class, to seeing the results of the EM survey, and then obviously the next round of drilling. In the meantime, I believe Palladium 1 will be doing further drilling on their own properties because they've received further exploration permit notifications. So they're going to be very, very busy people up to the end of the drilling season.
Okay, so downhole EM to come, further assays, because there's only visual at the moment from this RNS, but the assays to come soonish, and then on to further drilling. Are we looking at that? I mean, what are we talking? I guess the EM is going to start almost immediately. Assays, how long? A few weeks, do you think?
I don't know the answer to that because the labs are pretty backed up, so I wouldn't like to give any unrealistic expectation. But certainly our understanding from Palladium 1 is they hope to have the results of the EM survey processed, understood, and a drill program back underway in October.
Okay, so drilling starting hopefully again, in October. Okay, well, that sets out a bit of a timeline there. Thank you very much. Okay, but as an early stage then, this initial sort of campaign that you've got underway, you said at the start you could tell from your smile, but what are you feeling? How is it making you feel? And the fact as well that you're actually going to be on site in a few days, actually there yourself.
I'm extremely encouraged. I mean, yes, okay, we have to rein in our enthusiasm to an extent. This is a discovery, and it's a veritable and significant discovery. It's not a deposit yet, and as we all know, the averages are against the explorers in discovering economic deposits. But as you say, the nearology, which I go on about, and the vector here, we've got 4 significant nickel sulfide, copper sulfide discoveries in this 20-kilometre zone, and more drilling has to be done on all of them in order to prove up the extent. I mean, we could have a tiger by the tail. We don't know. It's hard not to be enthusiastic, but one has to try and be realistic as well. But yeah, a significant discovery. There's no getting away from that. And as you said, Mark, for somebody who's a company that's just fresh out the blocks in these markets, to be able to report to investors, shareholders, interested parties that we're doing what we said we would. We said we'd go out there. Okay, we're doing it vicariously as far as West Pickle Lake is concerned. But as an explorer, we're going out there and we're making discoveries on our properties.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Mark Sale, the CEO there of First Class Metals, for joining me to discuss that RNS from Thunder Bay. And hopefully we can be catching up maybe later towards the next week on site. But thank you very much for your time today, Mark.
Pleasure as always, Mark. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programmes at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.